So variables on both sides of the equation. Okay, so variables on both sides. Yesterday we only had a variable on one side of the equation and we had numbers on the other side and we solved. Now we're going to have variables on both sides, so we got to clean up the mess. Okay, so remember, an equation has two sides separated by the equal sign. You can write equal sign or just put the symbol. Make sure each side is simplified first. Okay, so always clean up each side. Simplify it. You may have to combine like terms. Or distribute. If you have, something sitting outside of parentheses. Okay, so you're going to move all the variables, okay, to one side by using the properties we learned previously. Adding, subtracting, whatever, getting to the other side. And then finish by solving. Okay, so on number 1, you have 3x plus 5 equals 2x plus 12. You have a choice. Okay, like I said yesterday, I had really strict teachers in high school, and they were like this OCD about you must have your variables on the left side. You can only have your variables on the left side, which is kind of ridiculous. And sometimes it's even causes problems. But there are advantages sometimes to one side or the other. So you choose what's best for you. If you choose, let's say you wanted to solve on the right side. Okay, don't write this down. You'd want to move this 3x over there, right? You'd want to subtract 3x. Well, if you subtract 3x from 2x, what you're going to end up with is a negative x, right? And if you move this 12 over, you'd end up with negative 7 if you did that. And that's okay. That is all right, but that's not the answer. Some people will stop there. Remember, we want one positive variable. So what people forget to do is they forget that they got to get rid of this, by like division or multiplication and get x equals 7. So to avoid that, if you just kind of think ahead, think, well, I'd like to keep positive variables. That means you want to move the smaller amount over to the other side. So instead of moving the 3x over, I want to subtract 2x from both sides. That's going to cancel my x's in here. I'm just going to end up with 1x. That's nice. That's what I want. And then I move the 5 over to the other side. And then we subtract 5 from both sides, and we get x equals 7. Now remember what we talked about yesterday. The beauty of algebra is you can take this bad boy and plug it in here and test it. And it only takes, 10, 20 seconds. So 7 times 3 is 1. That's 4. Close. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 5 is 26, right? 7 times 2 is? Plus 12 is? 26. It checks out. Remember, you can plug it back in and know before you move on to the next problem on the test whether you got it right or wrong. So why not spend the time? Okay? Over here, number 2. Again, same thing. We got to figure out where we want to move. We can move the negative 2x over to the right side. We can move the 4x over to the left side. It makes no difference. And here it's not as big of a deal because if you end up with a negative variable, you're going to end up with negative 6x. When you have a negative 6x, people don't forget to get rid of that negative 6. It's usually just when it's a negative x they forget. So it's not as big of a deal here, but It's your choice. Okay. Variables, left or right. Where do you want to go? Right? Okay. So when you go to the right, keep it positive. Okay, so I'm going to add 2x to both sides. Again, you do not have to keep them positive. Some people just like to always have them positive, and it removes a step sometimes. So what it's going to give me is 10 over here and 6x minus 2 over here. Now, since I moved my variables to the right side, I want my numbers on the left side. Very good. So I'm going to do plus 2, bam, and I'm going to get 12 equals 6x. And we learned yesterday, my last step is to do what? Divide by 6. Okay? Now remember, this happened yesterday, happens all the time. Some people want to divide by 12. Okay? But think about it. Always look for your variable. The variable is x. What's next to it? A 6. That's what we divide by, not the 12. And that's going to give me x equals 2. Which again, you can plug back in real quick. 10 minus 4 is 6. 8 minus 2 is 6. Check. All right, now we got a little bit more stuff going on. Okay? Instead of just having a letter and a number on the left side, letter and a number, now we got a bunch of stuff. So always clean it up first. So remember we talked about yesterday, maybe doing something like this. You know, numbers and letters to organize. So I'm going to clean up the left side. 4x plus 3x is 7x plus 2. 8x is just 8x. It has nobody. 10 plus 14 is 24. Now we're right back to problems that look like 1 and 2. We have a letter and a variable and a number on each side. This is one of those ones where you're going to end up with, if you think about it, 8 and 7, you're going to end up with 1x or negative 1x. If you move to the left side, you're going to end up with negative 1. If you move to the right side, it's going to be positive 1. So why not save yourself a step and go right? It doesn't matter. Okay? Those cancel, leaving you 2 equals x plus 24. And then we're going to move this 24 over by subtraction. And that gives me x equals negative 22. And I can go plug that back in, and I will get the right answer. Okay, over here I'm going to join my C's, and over here I'm going to join my C's. So 2C plus 4C is 6C, minus 8. 3C plus 6C is 9C, plus 4. Let's get a negative variable, just for the heck of it. I'm going to move the 9C to the left. And the reason I don't mind getting a negative variable is since it's going to not be 1, I'm going to have to end up dividing by a number anyway, so it really doesn't matter. It only saves you time if you're going to end up with 1x or negative 1x. That cancels. Now let me show you a little trick. Not a trick, it's a time saver. When you get more comfortable with this, and if you're already comfortable with it, if you want to do 2 steps at once, you can do that. So since I'm moving the letters to the left, I want to move the H to the right. Now, I'm only showing you this one time, because I'm not going to show it every time, because it's up to you. If you want to do it all at one time, that's fine. If that's too much and too fast, and you want to take it step by step like the previous examples, go ahead and do it that way, whatever's comfortable for you. Okay? What it's going to give me is negative 3C equals 12. I would have gotten the same answer if I did it in 2 steps. It's kind of up to you. Now I'm going to divide by negative 3. And that's going to give me C equals, be careful, it's a positive divided by a negative, negative 4. which again you can plug back in and prove. Now we talked about this yesterday. If you're going to go plug it back in and check your answer, I would suggest going to this spot, the simplified spot, not this one, because it's going to be, faster that way. As long as you did your combining right. Any questions on that page? All right. Now, we have to distribute. There is no shortcut like yesterday because, we don't have just a number on the other side. So we are going to send this in. Remember, if you are bad about not distributing to both, go ahead and draw these lines. It takes all of like 2 seconds. It's worth it to get it right. One of the most common mistakes is 8m minus 5, which it's not. 8 times 5 is 40. Equals 2m minus 4, not minus 2. Got to distribute. Now we're right back to the stuff we started with today. I'm going to decide to move my 2m over here. I'm going to do this in 2 steps again. That's going to give me 6m minus 40 equals negative 4. I need to move the numbers to the right, since I moved my letters to the left. So I'm going to do plus 40, the opposite, the inverse. I'm undoing the subtraction. 6m equals 36. Now I just simply divide, and I have m equals 6. Which if I plug back in, 6 minus 5 is 1, times 8 is 8. 6 minus 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. I know I did it right. Okay, number 6 is a tricky one. You have to be careful. This 2 is a negative 2. You have to distribute by negative 2. The most common mistake here is to just send a 2 in and say, don't write this down. I just want you to see what it is. 8 minus, and just go 2x plus 2. That's wrong. Okay? Because you're sending in a negative 2. And negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, not positive 2. So if you just ignore this like this, and just send the 2 in, it's 2x plus 1, and that's only going to be minus half of the time. And that's incorrect. So you don't want to do that. So there's 2 ways to think about it. You can do something like this. You can circle it like this to remind yourself to keep that negative with the 2. Or you can actually change it to plus minus 2 like that. Something to remind yourself to send the negative 2 in, not a positive 2. Because that is a negative 2. Okay? So when I send a negative 2, I get negative 2x. And then I get negative 2 here, equals negative 3x plus 1. Now I'm going to join my like terms. So 8 minus 2 is 6, minus 2x equals negative 3x plus 1. Now this is one of those circumstances where I'm going to get a negative or a positive 1. So I'm going to try to keep it positive. So I'm going to move my 3x's over here to end up with 1x. Or just x, remember. Over here they cancel, give me 1. Now I move the 6 over, and I get my answer of x equals negative 5. Okay, so on the first one, the first step is to combine the numbers. 8 minus 5 is not 13. 8 plus 5 is 13. So that is incorrect. Okay? And then 12n plus n is not 11n. 12n plus n is 13n. So in this problem, they added the numbers instead of subtracted, and they subtracted the letters instead of added. So it was a double whammy. The right side's fine. 12N is correct. But the left side is totally messed up, which leads to this being wrong. Okay? So the error was in addition and subtraction. So to fix it up, 8 minus 5 is 3. 12N plus N is 13N equals 12N. Now, this is one of those things where it's going to be 2 steps anyway, so I'm just going to move, I'm going to get a negative 1N, but if I move the 12N over, I'd have to move the 3 anyway. So I'm going to subtract 13N from both sides. That's going to give me 3 equals negative 1N. And I'm putting that negative 1 there to remind myself that I need to get rid of it by division. N equals negative 3. So that's way off from 13. I've got 13 bucks in my pocket, as opposed to I got nothing plus I owe you $3. Okay, that's a $16 difference between negative 3 and 13. Okay, number 8. The nays had it. It is incorrect. Now, it looks pretty good because if you add 13x here, that's supposed to be a 1. Okay, you do get 1x. Okay, you get 5 plus x. This is correct. That is good. The error is, again, in adding and subtracting, because this person added 5 to both sides. They just said, oh, plus 5. 19 plus 5 is 24. But you got to remember, if you have 19 equals 5 plus x, you need to subtract 5 from both sides. So x is 14.